The air on that fateful summer day hung heavy with anticipation as my friends and I embarked on a vacation to a quaint hilltop cottage. Nestled amidst rolling hills and surrounded by an expanse of lush greenery, the cottage stood as a testament to a bygone era. Little did we know that the picturesque facade concealed a dark secret, a history stained by tragedy, one that would intertwine with our lives in ways unimaginable. The decision to rent the cottage had been impulsive, fueled by the desire for an escape from the mundane routines that had shackled us for too long. Our group comprised 5 friends, each with their unique personalities and dreams. There was Mark, the adventurous soul who lived for thrill-seeking escapades; Emily, the pragmatic and level-headed thinker; Jake, the charming jokester with a heart of gold; Olivia, the artistic dreamer who found beauty in the simplest of things; and myself, Lucy, an aspiring writer seeking inspiration in the embrace of nature. As we approached the cottage, the sight that greeted us was nothing short of idyllic. The sun cast a warm glow upon the weathered facade, and the hills seemed to roll on forever. The cottage, though aged, exuded a rustic charm that drew us in. It stood silent, surrounded by an ancient grove of trees, their branches intertwining to form a canopy that shielded the secrets of the past. As we settled into our new temporary abode, the air buzzed with excitement. Laughter echoed through the cottage as we explored its nooks and crannies, each room revealing a story of a bygone era. Unbeknownst to us, the walls held memories of a tragedy that had unfolded within their confines, a tale that transcended time and sought to make itself known once more. The first night passed in blissful ignorance, the flickering candlelight casting a warm glow over our shared laughter and camaraderie. As the hours waned, fatigue claimed our bodies, and we retired to our respective rooms. Little did we know that the peace we had found within the walls of the cottage was but a prelude to the haunting nightmare that awaited us. It was on the second night that the cottage revealed its dark secret. A restless energy seemed to permeate the air, and an inexplicable chill settled over the rooms. I, Lucy, the aspiring writer with an unquenchable thirst for the mysterious, found myself drawn to a narrow staircase that led to an attic, an area that seemed to whisper tales of a forgotten past. The attic, bathed in the silvery light of the moon, revealed relics of a time long gone. Dust-covered trinkets and weathered furniture stood as silent witnesses to the passage of years. It was amidst this quiet chaos that I stumbled upon a faded photograph, an image that would unravel the tragic tale hidden within the cottage's walls. The photograph depicted a young girl, her eyes reflecting a sadness that transcended the limitations of the two-dimensional frame. In the background, the cottage stood eerily familiar, its facade mirroring the aged structure that now housed us. The discovery sent shivers down my spine, and a sense of foreboding settled in the pit of my stomach. Determined to unravel the mystery that clung to the air like a haunting melody, I delved into the forgotten corners of the cottage's history. Through dusty records and aged newspaper clippings, the tragic tale emerged, a story of an orphan girl, kidnapped and held captive within the very walls of the cottage, her existence blighted by the cruelty of those who sought to extinguish her spirit. Her name was Amelia, a name that now echoed through the corridors of time, seeking acknowledgement and justice. The records spoke of a gruesome end, an end that saw her, in a desperate bid for freedom, jumping into a fire pit that once stood in the cottage's backyard. The flames had claimed her innocence, leaving behind a legacy of unfulfilled dreams and a restless spirit bound to the cottage that had witnessed her torment. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I shared the chilling discovery with my friends. The air in the cottage seemed to thicken, and an oppressive stillness settled upon us. As we huddled together, grappling with the horrors of the past, a realization dawned upon us: an orphan girl within our midst was at risk of being possessed by the vengeful spirit of Amelia, desperate to bring her tragic tale to light. Olivia, the dreamer with a heart attuned to the supernatural, became the focal point of the haunting. The oppressive energy seemed to converge upon her, and the air crackled with an otherworldly tension. Whispers, faint yet laden with sorrow, filled the cottage as Amelia sought to communicate through the conduit of Olivia's vulnerable soul. Night after night, Olivia experienced harrowing visions, flashes of a past that wasn't her own, a life marred by captivity and cruelty. The line between the living and the spectral began to blur as Amelia's desperate attempts to convey her story intensified. Shadows danced on the walls, their movements mirroring the torment that had once plagued the orphaned soul. Olivia, caught in the grip of the spectral encounter, became a vessel for Amelia's anguish. Her eyes, once filled with the light of dreams, now reflected a darkness that transcended the boundaries of the mortal realm. The cottage, no longer a haven of tranquility, bore witness to the unfolding drama of a vengeful spirit seeking redemption. As I observed the haunting transformation, a sense of responsibility weighed heavily upon me. The cottage, once a mere backdrop to our vacation, had become a stage for a tragedy that demanded resolution. Amelia, through Olivia's possession, sought to expose the truth that had been buried within the confines of time. Driven by a desire to quell the tormented spirit, we embarked on a quest to uncover the perpetrators of Amelia's suffering. Through cryptic messages and spectral manifestations, Amelia guided us to the remnants of a cult that had sought to harness dark forces within the cottage's walls. Their malevolent deeds, shrouded in secrecy, had subjected Amelia to a life of unimaginable horror. The cult, long disbanded, had left behind clues that led us to a hidden chamber within the cottage, a chamber that bore witness to unspeakable rituals and atrocities committed in the name of a twisted ideology. Symbols etched into the walls, remnants of long extinguished flames, and the residual energy of malevolence hinted at the darkness that had once enveloped the forgotten cottage. As we delved into the shadows of the cult's history, we uncovered the names of those responsible for Amelia's suffering. Justice, long denied to the orphaned soul, became the driving force behind our pursuit. The spirits of the past seemed to converge upon the cottage, their whispers a haunting chorus that fueled our determination to bring closure to Amelia's restless soul. The climax unfolded in the dimly lit chamber, where the remnants of the cult's twisted rituals had left an indelible mark. The air crackled with an energy that transcended the mortal realm, and the symbols on the walls seemed to pulse with an ominous glow. Olivia, the vessel through which Amelia sought redemption, stood at the epicenter of the spectral convergence. As we confronted the malevolent spirits that lingered within the chamber, a battle ensued between the forces of light and darkness. Shadows writhed and contorted, and the air became charged with an otherworldly tension. Amelia, through Olivia's possession, spoke with a voice that echoed the centuries of torment. The cult's leaders, their spectral forms cloaked in malevolence, resisted the revelation of their sins. A ghastly visage of their past deeds materialized before our eyes, the kidnapping, the captivity, and the gruesome demise of an innocent soul. The spirits of the cult, bound by the darkness they had unleashed, recoiled as the truth emerged like a blinding light. In a climactic moment, the chamber seemed to quake with an otherworldly force. The symbols etched into the walls glowed with an intensity that defied explanation. The cult's leaders, their spectral forms writhing in agony, were engulfed by a vortex of ethereal energy, a manifestation of the justice that had long eluded them. As the vortex dissipated, a profound stillness settled over the chamber. The malevolent spirits, their ties to the cottage severed, vanished into the shadows from whence they came. Olivia, released from the spectral possession, collapsed to the ground, her eyes now reflecting the newfound light that banished the darkness that had once consumed her. Amelia's restless spirit, freed from the shackles of the past, lingered in the air like a whisper carried by the wind. Her spectral form, bathed in an ethereal glow, conveyed a sense of peace that transcended the confines of the mortal realm. As her presence faded, the cottage, once haunted by the echoes of a tragic history, stood silent and still. With the dawn of a new day, the Hilltop cottage seemed to exhale a sigh of relief. The ancient trees, their branches reaching towards the heavens, cradled the cottage in their protective embrace. The hills, once witness to unspeakable atrocities, bore the weight of a history that had now found closure. As we left the cottage behind, the air felt lighter, and the oppressive stillness gave way to the gentle rustling of leaves. Olivia, though forever changed by the spectral encounter, bore the newfound light of Amelia's redemption. The cottage, no longer shrouded in the darkness of a forgotten past, stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of justice to prevail even in the face of malevolence. And so, as we descended from the hill, the cottage disappeared in the rearview mirror, fading into the tapestry of rolling hills and ancient trees. The memories of that fateful vacation, marked by the spectral encounter and the quest for justice, would forever linger in our minds, a tale of friendship, redemption, and the echoes of a forgotten cottage that found solace in the light of truth.